What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. We are driving another Ram. Now, the last Ram I did in the heavy duty segment was a Tradesman. I purposely drove this truck because one, it has a HEMI. Two, we're going to do an MPG run because you guys have been asking me to do it. And three, I want to show you the differences between this and the Tradesman and why you should pick the Bighorn over the Tradesman. Let's get started. We won't spend too much time on the window sticker, but this does have a base price of $45,250. This is a crew cab with four-wheel drive, and then this is just a quick look at your standard equipment. Taking a look under the optional equipment, you do have that diamond black crystal pearl paint, $100, premium bucket seats up front, protection group, and it does have the heavy-duty snowplow prep group. And just taking a look, the bed utility is something you should definitely consider. Let me show you what comes in that package. Deployable bed step, LED bed lighting, and a spray and bed liner, all that for $695. Not bad. And then this truck has that expensive level 2 equipment group. It's going to set you back $4,195, and it has a ton of stuff in there. This truck was equipped with the anti-spin differential in the rear, clearance lamps, and it does have the rear wheelhouse liners, and it does have the 20-inch wheels. Destination comes in at $1,695, and you have a total price of $54,850. All right, so Matt Shelton's gonna give us some pricing here. What we got? What we got?
Hey man.
Bro. Bro. What's up, man? You gonna be on YouTube? Nice. So we're gonna get a pricing on this Bighorn for you guys real quickly. This is Matt Shelton here. If you are in the market for a truck, car, sedan, minivan.
What are we catering to here? Business owners, non-business owners?
All of them. They all want Bighorn, man.
I want Bighorn.
Yes, sir. So he's pulling up all the incentives. He's gonna give us all the discounts, guys. Not all the discounts? well, the good news is, what's that? There's not a lot?
There's $2,000.
That's it? So you got to drop your pants in this bad boy, man. Come on now.
Oh, I mean,
how low can you go?
Daily anyway,
How low can you go? Yeah, you too.
That's a net deal right there.
Ooh, wow. Look at that, guys. Someone looking at 48?
48.
There you go, guys. Come get it. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started with the MPG run. And I'm just going to do a newer route that should have less stops. I want to try to stay at a consistent speed. There's two places I go to do my MPG runs. I live in Frederick, Maryland, and I do some there. And I'm in Mount Airy at Century Chrysler Dodge Ram. If you are in the market, be sure to check these guys out. These guys have been very helpful for my channel, and they have pretty much let me drive every truck I ever wanted to drive there. Might see if they get a Trackhawk, they'll let me drive that, but probably not. But let's go ahead and get started. This should be a 10-mile loop. I did do a video on half ton. I did a eco diesel and I did a 5.7 MPG run on this road. It was a little bit colder that day when I did it, so looking forward to see how well this truck does. Before we get started with me showing you the differences between the Bighorn and the Tradesman, I wanted to build a 2020. If you're looking to spec a truck for towing and you're on a budget, that's kind of what I want to build this truck around. So I'm going to start off showing you guys the powertrain and then the packages. So we are going to build it with a HEMI. The 8-speed is standard with the 6.4. Now 10,000 pound GVWR, that's the only GVWR you can get with this truck, and this is what's going to set your payload. Now if you want the anti-spin rear axle, you can get it as an option with 373. However, if you want the 410, it's going to come standard. So if I click this, it's going to pretty much tell me that. So choose, and it's going to give me both of those things. Now you can choose the Snow Cheap, which is going to include this also. We're going to just click this for now. We're going to try to keep the price down on the truck, and that's really the goal. Now we are going to gear this truck around towing. So 410 is going to give you the max tow. So hey, let's try to get this option to kind of help with the payload and any kind of pin weight that you're going to have with your trailer. So the reason why I would choose this is because this does remove the coil springs on the truck. So the weight should stay pretty similar. I mean, it might go up a few pounds, but it's not going to change it significantly. So you're going to keep your payload in mind. It also improves the ride on the truck. I would upgrade to a 220 amp alternator. 180 amp alternator is standard. Now moving on down, we're going to skip these things. I strongly would recommend getting the protection group. Of course, if you are going off road or something like that, this would come in handy, just protecting that transfer case. And we're going to skip pretty much everything here too. Now if you would like to have the heated seats, I mean, we're building this truck on a budget. The only issue with this is that you have to get the level 1 equipment group. Now if you would like to have the LED lights, this is like a definite for me. The only issue is we're going to skip it this time, because if you want this, you have to get the level 2. That's $5,000 plus $795. So unfortunately, we're going to just go ahead. We're going to get the heated seats, because this is a good thing to have, especially when it's cold outside. And you're going to have to add the level 1 equipment group. So right now we're at $52,125. Now if you would like to have this bighorn, I'm going to go over this in the video, but you have a lot of other packages that you can choose. This is one here, this is one also. Now moving on down, we're going to skip the safety group and towing technology group because it's just too much money. And from there, we're going to add the last package on the truck, which is the fixable gooseneck prep. I strongly recommend getting this because they do build this into the frame, and it's going to be covered under the factory warranty. Now let's get back to the video so I can show you the differences between the Tradesman and the bighorn. Now the only difference you're going to have between this and the Tradesman is that the chrome front end does come standard, and you do get the chrome cladded steel wheel too. Another added benefit is you do get an 18-inch alloy wheel like this, and this is an optional 20-inch wheel that you can get too. So you cannot get either one of these wheel styles on the Tradesman. So if you would like the nicer style wheels, you would have to move up to a bighorn. Another reason why you should choose the bighorn is you do have the availability to add a sport appearance and a night edition package to this truck. Obviously that's going to add more money, but you can dress up the truck a lot better. You can have painted bumpers, nicer style wheels. You can do black wheels on it, where you cannot do that on the Tradesman. Alright, so here we are at 17.7. I typically do a loop. This probably might be my new one, so you'll see that PNC, and then we just go back the other way. Now this road is going to be 30 miles an hour, and then it jumps up to about 40, then I get up to 50 miles an hour, and then it goes up to 55. The bighorn also allows you to choose between 4 different interior colors, whereas on the Tradesman you only have vinyl seating and you have this style cloth seat, nothing else. You also have the availability to add heated seats and a heated steering wheel and dual climate control, which you cannot get inside of the Tradesman. Another good feature that this truck does have is it does have a standard keyless entry. Now it's not smart key, so you would have to push the button to get in and out of the truck, and of course you have to lock it from the key too. If you're someone that likes to have a center console in your truck, you will have to step up to the bighorn also, and this is not available inside the Tradesman. If you do choose the bighorn, you do have this 60/40 bench out back. The Tradesman does not come with a 60/40, it just all pops up together, and this is really good. So if you do have like a big dog, or if you have something that you're carrying that has to be carried inside the truck, like luggage maybe, that you don't want to get wet, you can actually do that inside of the bighorn and still have someone sitting down, or if you can have 2 people sitting down and have stuff over on this side. And you also would not have these USBs. This is optional on the bighorn, but you would not have anything that you see here because you cannot get a center console except for the air conditioned vents. That's the only thing that you would see. If you like the style of this interior too, you probably would like to consider the bighorn, just because they do have a lot more styling cues that you don't get inside of the Tradesman. But overall, I mean, you don't get this covered storage. This would all be open on the Tradesman also. I would strongly recommend, you have to figure out what's best, because you're going to spend almost $5,000 more for some of the things that I pointed out, and some of those things are going to cost you more money to have. So I don't know. I would say that for me, I do like a lot more comfort features. Like for example, the heated seats, I would like to have that. So I probably would jump up to a bighorn, because those things would be beneficial for me. But I do like the fact that you can add the Power Wagon package to the Tradesman. That would probably deter me to buy the bighorn and just get that instead, even if I do lose some of the features that you get inside this truck. Mike Hunt, you did want me to do a video with the Ram HEMI with the 410 and 373 to see if there's a difference. I have to go back and look. Where I pulled this truck from, there was not another HEMI, it was all Cummins. But if I have a chance, maybe I'll go on the other side of the lot, see if they have like a work truck, if it has a 410, I'll drive that truck on the same route to see if there's a difference in the fuel mileage run. But I may have to do a longer run, guys. I mean, I'll be honest, these might be a little bit tougher. I think that 410 actual and 373 might require like maybe a couple hundred miles, just because it's kind of hard to really gauge it at these lower speeds and at these, you know, shorter runs, just because it's probably not gonna be a huge difference. But from what I can tell, I'm getting 16.4 at 8 miles, and I was doing anywhere between 45 and 55 so far on this trip here. But we've been driving for 12 minutes now, and yeah, like I said, that's not bad for a gas. I mean, this does have MDS, and it does have like an eco that kicks on, and I've been trying to stay within that too. So 16.4 isn't bad. If you're towing, I mean, I think Mikey P's got like 8 miles to the gallon with his HEMI, but he's lifted because he has a Power Wagon. One thing to mention too is if you want a Power Wagon trim, you can get that on a Tradesman, and I think it's a good idea. Like, I mean, it's such a good price point. I would love to own one of those because I feel like it's such a cheap truck to have. I mean, of course, it's not as nice as Mikey P's, but it still has like a lot of cool, you know, features that you can go off-road with. All right, so we're about to pull back into a dealership. I'm at 9.8 miles at 16.7, driven 15 minutes. And once I get up to the top of this hill, that will end it. So it looks like I'm going to end at 16.5 at almost 10 miles an hour. So that's not bad. Like I said, the temperatures outside is 68 degrees. There's a little bit of a wind, but that really wasn't going to affect it on that road, I don't think, as much as, you know, it would on a highway. But yeah, that's really good MPG, guys. Anytime you're in the market for a 2020 Ram 2500 with a HEMI, you're going to see these numbers. Gross axle up front is going to be 5,500 pounds. The rear is going to be at 6,390. It is lower on the Cummins 2500s. And you're going to have a gross vehicle weight of 10,000 pounds. All in, you have a payload of 2,995 pounds. I cannot remember what the payload was on that Tradesman, but I'm going to put it here right now. So taking a look at the advertised tow numbers, I've never seen this before. The online numbers are actually lower than what the truck shows. That's a good thing. Now keep in mind, that truck had 20-inch wheels. This is going to be a base model truck with no options. Towing capacity is going to be 14,120, and you're going to have a 410 axle available that will increase your towing capacity. So one thing I did forget to do, we're going to go ahead and finish building this truck. I forgot to click on bed utility. $745, the price did go up. Now we're looking at $53,660. Moving down to the exterior, we're going to move through this pretty quickly. Patriot Blue and Olive Green are going to be two new colors for the 2020 model year. If you would like to have a low volume color, it's only available in the Tradesman and the Bighorn. It may take you longer if you order these colors, so just keep that in mind too. Clearance lamps, center high mount. I do like the center high mount because it gives you that camera. And if you would like to have the black wheels, you would have to go with the Night Edition, unfortunately. And you do have that optional 20-inch wheel. We're going to stick with the 18 because we're on a budget. And moving on down, we're going to skip over the running boards. The only way you can get black is if you get the Night Edition, so you would be stuck with the wheel-to-wheel chrome or just the cab link side steps. They also have these options, tonneau covers and bed liners. And then if you would like to have anything here, these are additional options for your truck. Now, I mentioned earlier, there are 4 colors for the interior. We're going to click the black. I think this will look good against the paint. One thing to keep in mind, this truck does have Apple CarPlay, so you don't have to get the navigation, and the 12-inch display is available. I think you have to have additional packages to get it though, so just keep that in mind. Let's take a look real quickly. So you'd have to get the level 2 equipment group in order to get that, so just keep that in mind. So obviously we're on a budget, we're going to skip that. I think that having the Alpine is a good idea. I mean, for $495, I would just click it. We're going to skip the sunroof. I'll be honest, this is something that I would recommend too. Such a cheap thing, and if you would like to get floor mats from the factory, you might as well. We're still under $55,000, but you do have to tack on $1,695 per destination. But overall, like I said, everything else here, I would probably just go ahead and skip. If you would like to have the remote start, I think everything that I got would be something I would want, but I think that this would be a good idea to have too. So All in all, we're at $55,235 for the price. So just keep that in mind. Hope this was helpful for you guys. I'm going to go ahead and effectively end the video. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comment section below, and I will see you guys soon. And before I forget to do this, this is with the mirrors down, and this is when I'm up.